programme training prisoners to counsel other inmates is to be extended to all prisons. The Listener scheme is run by the Samaritans in 5 of the country's jails. It aims to help those at risk of self-harm and suicide. The Governor of Wheatfield Prison says the programme has already saved lives.
Prison is for many an experience with which they find difficult to cope, and prisoners locked up in cells are at high risk of self-harm and suicide. But here in Wheatfield Prison, inmates serving longer sentences have been trained to help others.
If anybody needs to talk to somebody, they just ask the officer for a listener, and we get brought down to a special suite, a listener suite that we have, and we sit down and we just talk, we listen to the person, let them talk about what he needs to talk about.
Everyone needs someone to talk to at some stage, like, you know, like there's a lot of people here that people say, oh, he'd never talk to a listener, but they do talk to you, like, you know that way. So we're not looked down on like that. We have a bit of respect from other prisoners.
The prisoners trained as listeners are on call 24 hours a day to hear the problems of their fellow inmates to prevent them from harming themselves. They were called out 600 times last year.
They feel more patient, more compassion, they have better coping skills, and research in the UK has also shown that there's a lower rate of recidivism among listeners than the population as a whole.
Wheatfield is one of 5 prisons in which the scheme operates. It's also being introduced in the Docus Centre for Women, and the Samaritans are in talks with the authorities at the Midlands Prison and Loughlin House.
One of the initiatives that came in 10 years ago was the Listener scheme. It has without doubt saved lives, there's no doubt about that.
Prisoners are 7 times more likely to die by suicide than people on the outside. And now the Prison Service and the Samaritans plan to extend this service to every prison in the country. Paul Reynolds, RTE News, Wheatfield Prison, Dublin.